This recording will be relatively short. This one is over spinal cord injury. Usually, spinal cord injuries are going to occur because of some kind of massive acceleration or deceleration of the body. You're in an accident or you're slam on the brakes and you go you decelerate really quickly and that propels you forward, or you step on the gas in your car really fast and it causes that quick acceleration. These can lead to spinal cord injury. Any kind of deforming force, being hit very hard, causing you to be put in a situation that causes deformation of the spinal cord, can lead to spinal cord injury. We can also have some of these forces that will compress the tissues, meaning that they're going to squeeze on those tissues and tighten them or cause them to be mashed together. We can also pull or exert any kind of tension, like pulling on a rope. This can cause them to be stretched, or we can actually shear the tissues in half and they will slide into two pieces, and you will now have what's called transection of the spinal cord. Injuries can be just like with the brain. We can have cord concussion, we can have cord contusion, cord compression, and cord transection. So let's talk about each one of these individually. When we talk about a cord contusion, this is a temporary disruption in the function of the cord. You have a small maybe bulge here in the disc that's going to push on that cord, and you're going to have some disruption in the movement of messages up and down the spinal cord. A cord contusion is going to be a bruise or something in the neural tissue causing a temporary swelling. This can lead to some temporary loss of function, and it will then, that cord itself will not send messages effectively, and it can even you can actually lose function completely until that bruise or that swelling goes away, and then you have complete access then of neural information going up and down the spinal cord. Cord compression is where we press on the cord that causes some kind of ischemia. So here we're pressing on the cord, and that cord now is not getting good blood flow. This can lead to damage of the cord, and that damage can actually be permanent. If it's not relieved, that damage will then cause the cord itself not to be able to send messages from the point of the damage on. The last type of injury is going to be the transection. We can have multiple types of transection. You can have what is called a complete or an incomplete transection. Anytime you have transection of the cord, this is going to lead to permanent loss of function of the cord. If we have complete, this is where all of the spinal tracts are completely severed. So if we look here, you see that the spinal cord has been severed, and you've got part of it here and you have part of it here. All of the cord functions below the area of the severing will now be non-functional. The loss is going to be permanent, and you're going to see, for instance, in this patient, you would see paralysis from the shoulders down. Incomplete transection would be if some of the tracts of the spinal cord remain intact. One of the things about this is that you can potentially get new function or recover that new function, because it's just like when you have traffic and you've got the road that you normally travel on is now under construction and you can't get through it, so you've got to find a new way around. That's what happens when you have incomplete transection of the spinal cord. The information has to find a new way around, and so when it does, it finds its way into a new pattern that will then lead to some potential recovery of function in that particular part of the body. That's the end of spinal cord injury. Again, be sure you send me your questions.